Alrighty. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for taking a little bit of your time today to join us in this webinar that we are hosting today with our newest partner in Italy, in the heart of Tuscany, a very special place that you'll hear from directly from our colleague who is your main point of contact for this beautiful castle in the middle of the Tuscan region, Castello di Velona, and our colleague is Enzo Barbagallo. And we are also grateful for your attention. We'll be fielding questions from here. So without further ado, I leave you with Enzo to guide us.
Hello, good morning. I'm Angel. Thank you for the introduction. For me, it's a pleasure to bring all of you in the amazing Tuscany, in the countryside, and show you the Castello di Velona. So just to give you an idea where we are located, we are in the Val d'Orcia, in the south part of Tuscany. Tuscany it's often seen as one destination, but in reality, it can be divided into two very distinct experiences: the city of Florence and the countryside. Within the countryside, we can still distinguish two key regions. We have the Chianti area, which is the area between Florence and Siena, and the Val d'Orcia area. So today my goals is to show you why the Val d'Orcia, home to Montalcino and the Castello di Velona, and recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is the best choice for your client, whether or not they are wine lovers. So if your guests are passionate about wine, there is no simply any better place than Montalcino. While the Chianti is a well-known name, it's one of the most famous Toscan brand on a worldwide level. And it's of course the home of Chianti, so which is a very popular wine. So it's very important for you when someone asks you want to have one experience in Tuscany to better understand which kind of guests are you working with. Because if your guests are wine lover, they maybe will expect from you that you suggest them to have a look to Montalcino for the Brunello, which is, as I said before, one of the most famous wine on a worldwide level. While if your guest doesn't care about wine, but they just want to have one experience in the Tuscany countryside, Montalcino is still the best solution for them, because Montalcino is located in the Val d'Orcia. So the Val d'Orcia, as I said before, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, while the Chianti area is not a UNESCO. So as you can see, for me, it's very important to underline the differences between the Chianti area, which is very popular, very famous, and the Val d'Orcia area, where Montalcino is located. Just for your information, the Chianti wine and the Brunello wine are made with the same grapes, which is the Sangiovese, but the Brunello is made only Montalcino, and a wine, in order to be named as a Brunello, it must be aged for at least 5 years in a wine barrel. Secondly, only limited quantity of wine are produced each year. And so you can you can imagine how can be a different product, the Brunello, from the Chianti. In fact, the Brunello represents the pinnacle of Toscan winemaking. It's a wine for true connoisseurs. Any client who appreciate a fine wine will expect from you that you recommend them to go to Montalcino. Just to give you an idea how important is Montalcino on an international level, you can consider that in Montalcino lives only 4,000 people. But 4,000 people. But normally you can find, in reality, you can find 3 virtuoso properties: the Rosewood Castillo del Bosco, the Castello di Velona, which is a preferred hotel resort, and Castello Banfi. In Montalcino, you can find 2 Michelin star restaurants. while in the whole Tuscany, there are almost 52 virtuoso properties, 20 of them located in Florence, while more than 30 are located in the countryside. But the countryside is maybe 10 million times bigger than Montalcino. So you can understand how important is Montalcino on international level. If a small village like Montalcino is, Virtuoso gave the partnership at three properties. Please keep in mind that Montalcino is in Val d'Orcia, and the Val d'Orcia is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So if your guests they don't care about wine, I believe it will be a good opportunity for them to visit a very famous and precious destination like the Val d'Orcia is. One more thing to keep in mind is that in Tuscany there are many properties who call themselves castle, like Como Castel del Nero, by Como Hotels, like Castello di Casole, by Belmont, like Castel Falfi. I believe you know all of them, which are very beautiful, very incredible property, top luxury brand, Casole and Como with top services. But in the reality, they don't represent a caste. They represent what we call a borgo because they're made by 3 or 4 buildings putting together with a square or with a street, like a small village. So now, please let me show you what a real castle looks like. And we'll bring you to our virtual tour in order to give you the deepness of the space and a 360 view overall the venue. So here we are. This is a real medieval castle. It was built around the 11th century. It was a military fort during the war between Montalcino against Siena and Montalcino-Siena against Florence. So we are between the 11th and 15th century. So Florence is the nearest international airport. It's almost 1 hour and 45 minutes far away from Montalcino, while Rome is a 3 hour, 3 hour and a half far from Montalcino. So you can choose which international airport let your guest land. The castle has 45 rooms and suite, divided between castle style, which are bigger but with just windows, and contemporary style, which are smaller but with a private patio and garden. And due to the fact the castle is located on top of a hill, there is a 360 view over all the valley. We have a spa and wellness area of about 2,000 square meters with hot spring thermal water. So we have 4 pools, 2 inside, 2 outside. Each pool has a different water temperature. Of course, we have our own production of Brunello di Montalcino wine. So we organize one experience within the property and 2 restaurants, 2 for dinner and 1 for the lunch. So this is our amazing property. Again, is a real medieval castle, original by 62%. The Castello is located on top on a hill, so from each room of the rooms and suite of the castle, there is an amazing view overall vineyard, olive tree, and the Val d'Orcia Valley. And due to the fact we are on top on a hill, we have the sunrise side of the castle and the sunset side of the castle. So 45 keys in general, totally, divided between castle style, 23 over 45, located in the main building. All of them are different for sizes and shapes. The majority of them has just windows, and they are located in the oldest part of the castle. While we have the contemporary style located all around the new area, so down the wall, 22 over 45 rooms. All of them has a private patio and garden overlooking the sunset side of the castle. They were created almost 8 years ago, so we were able to bring the thermal water from our pool and put inside the bathroom. So guests can have a thermal bath staying in their rooms. And this is one of our unique selling point. Then we have our private helipad station. So the castle can be reachable by helicopter. And we organize helicopter tours among all the destination, but also transfer from to the Castello to Florence Airport or to Rome Airport or to Amalfi coast, for instance. Two external pool. We with different each with a different temperature, connect by a tunnel with the internal one. Two restaurants. We have the Settimo Senso restaurant on the sunset side of the castle, so where the guests have breakfast and an Italian traditional menu a la carte. And then we have the Dolce Vita restaurant next by the pool with fish menu a la carte and fish bar in for aperitif in the afternoon. Gym open 24 hour, and also our external pool are open 24 hour. So guests, instead to stay in the room watching the mobile or playing with the mobile, they can have a midnight thermal baths in the night, which is a unique experience. Now I will bring you inside the property. I'll show you in details the Castello. So once the guests climb the hill in which the castle is located, they will be in front of one of our millenary tower and with a 360 view over all the valley. So we don't have any light or sound pollution in the night. So sunrise side of the castle and sunset side of the castle. Our lobby with natural light. Of course, lobby open 24 hours. Now I will show you our rooms in castle style. Over 45 keys, we have 8 rooms and 37 suite. This is a castle style suite with original material from the ceiling to the pavement of the 15th century. It is one of the few rooms and suite with a private balcony and terrace. This is the bedroom with a real king size bed and travertino and marble stone in the bathroom. Now back to the lobby, I will show you one of our contemporary suite. This is a junior suite in contemporary style. So the contemporary rooms suite are smaller than the castle style. Over 45 rooms, we have the 7-room type because, as I said before, the castle is original by 65%. So we were not able to move a wall and give same size and shapes to all the rooms and suite. Bathroom with travertino stone. The majority of the bathroom, let's say 85% of the bathroom in the castle style has a walk-in shower, while in the castle style, only 25% of the rooms and suite has a walk-in shower. And as I told you before, contemporary suite has thermal water. So we have a special tap where the guest can get the thermal water, so having a thermal bath in the bathroom. And the private garden and patio overlooking the sunset side of the castle. And this is the view the guests enjoy while they lie down on the sunbeds. So again, contemporary style suite all around the wall. Castle style in the main building. Bigger, but with just windows. Smaller, but with a private external patio or garden and thermal water inside the bathroom. One of our vineyards on a walking distance. We have our own production of Brunello Montalcino wine, almost 20,000 bottle of Brunello. For give you an idea, Banfi is the first, the main producer of Brunello with 20 million of bottle of Brunello. So we have one of our vineyard walking distance where we normally organize picnic, lunch, picnic at the sunset, or wine tasting directly into the vineyard. And this is the view the guests enjoy of the Val d'Orcia. On the sunrise side of the castle, and this is the view the guests enjoy on the sunset side of the castle. So the reason why the Val d'Orcia is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and the Chianti is not, even if the Chianti is maybe for sure more famous than the Val d'Orcia, is that the Val d'Orcia is a volcanic origin, so has a round shape, and you have a more deeper view of the valley. While in the Chianti area, hills are more close each other, so you don't have this kind of view. Now let me show you our external pool area. So 7 o'clock in the morning, sunrise. This is the view the guests enjoy from the pools. And the color of the landscape change according to the season. So in January are totally different, and in the winter totally different from the spring, the summer, and autumn. This is just to give you an idea how high is the hill in which the castle is located and how deep is the valley and what is surrounding the Castello di Velona. So the Dolce Vita restaurant open all day long. Is the only restaurant open for during the lunch, and for the dinner it becomes a fish bar, fish restaurant. Our internal pools, two pools with different temperature, connect by tunnel with the external pool. So during the winter, guests don't have to walk out from the pools just to reach the external area. All around is made by Travertino. We have humid area with sauna, jacuzzi, Turkish bath, 8 cabin massage. So not only wine food experience, but also spa wellness treatment all year long. Not all year long because we are seasonal resort, so we mainly open during the Easter, and we close in the middle of January. We have our solarium, common area for the guest, with our gym, open 24-hour, with an amazing view. Now I will bring you to our Settimo Senso restaurant and its terrace, where the guests have breakfast every morning on the sunset side of the castle. This is the Val d'Orcia River, which brings us the thermal water on the right. And this is the view during the sunset. So here we are with the river. And the Settimo Senso restaurant. Of course, Tuscany is famous for meat, for the Fiorentina meat, for the tea steak. So we have a very important selection of meat and dried meat, and our breakfast room. Again, from the ceiling to the pavement, the original material of the 15th century. Also in the breakfast room. Again, back to the lobby. We have our winery, where we normally organize wine tasting or special dinner in a special setting. So two small meeting up to two small room up to 8, 10 people, where we organize wine tasting for the guests, but we normally organize wine tasting in all the property. So in the vineyard, on the pool area, on the lobby, it just depends from the guest and the number of participants. Now we show you our top suite, the pool terrace suite, which has a private terrace of 200 square meters with a private thermal pool. And as you can see, the view is incredible. In castle style. So big living room, and big bedroom with a king size bed. And for the family, we have 4 grand suite, all of them with a big living room. All of them with 2 bedroom. In this case, we have a king size bedroom. And twins French bedroom. All of them with an amazing view over all the vineyard and olive tree. And this suite can be combined with the pool terrace suite in order to create an apartment up to 9 people with 3 bedrooms, 2 living room, and 2 bedrooms. Here we are, Angel. Just to give you a recap about the Castello di Velona, again, we are open from the Easter to the end of January. Not only wine and food experience, but also spa and wellness treatment. We work also with Duvine, so we host more than 120 e-bike groups. So Montalcino and the Val d'Orcia is a perfect destination for sport activities, hiking, e-bike. We are near Siena, Montepulciano, Cortona, Arezzo, which is the medieval city tour. Many of our repeaters, they just land in Florence and move to the countryside and go to Florence on a daily trip because it's just 1 hour and 45 minutes far away from Montalcino. The Tuscany seaside, Grosseto, Isola d'Elba, Montargentario is not far away from Montalcino. So in 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, you can reach Florence. You can get into the Tuscany seaside. Rome is 3 hour. Pisa International Airport. It's almost 2 hour and a half from Montalcino. Um, and thanks to the thermal water, again starting from last year, we keep the property open till the middle of January, and we are one of the few property resort in the Tuscany countryside that are open, keep its door open also during the winter.
Wonderful. Who's ready for some Brunello? Thank you again for your attention. We do have a couple of questions, Enzo, that I will read to you. So Suzanne would like to clarify the number of rooms, if you could
We
tell
have
us.
45 keys, so 8 rooms and 37 suite and junior suite. So totally 45.
Total 45, Suzanne. And then if you could give us what lead-in rates are in the summer.
Well, we have 7 room type. So our entry level rate starts from 600, 500, 600 for the prestige category. And just go up every till 1,300 to our UNESCO Junior Suite. And then we have our top luxury suite.
Wonderful. And next question I have actually is if you could show us where the UNESCO view terrace suites are on that aerial photo.
Yes,
I guess
the
Josh has
UNESCO.
someone staying soon.
Yeah, the UNESCO terrace suite, correct? UNESCO Terrace Suite. Actually, we have a couple of UNESCO Terrace Suite. So we have, I don't have the virtual tour yet of these two room type, but if I go to our website, I can easily show you which are. So one is this one. So the one is the only one which has this kind of balcony, and it actually represent this one. So this is the terrace of a UNESCO terrace suite. So this is the living room of that suite. And this is the bathroom. So we have a UNESCO terrace unit suite in a castle style, in contemporary style.
Thank you.
This is the living room in castle style, and this is the terrace.
Wonderful. And so do you recommend guests having their own car to visit the area?
Sorry, second, please. I cannot hear you well.
Do you recommend for guests to have their own car to?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I will suggest them because we are almost 5 miles far away from Montalcino city center. So if you might need to go to Montalcino city center, or you want to just have, or you just want to drive your car around the Val d'Orcia Hills, you will need to rent it, and it's quite expensive because we are. I don't want to say in the middle of nothing, but we are in the middle of the Tuscany countryside. So every kind of transfer from to the Castello can be quite expensive.
Got it. And for guests that are older but mobile, how would you describe the layout of the castle to move around, to enjoy all the facilities?
Well, we are a resort. Normally, the majority of our guests arrive to the Castello after spending about a couple of days in a big city. So they would prefer to stay at the property, to have relax, to drink wine, making cooking class, wine testing, relaxing to the thermal spa, because we are the maybe the only property, the only castle in the real castle in the Tuscany countryside with the thermal water and wine Brunello. It's very important for us that you underline if your guests have walking problems, because due to the fact that we are a castle, we have many stairs to guests can may need to do many starts in order to get the room. So for us, it's very important at booking time that you underline if they want to have a walking shower, or for them it's enough good to have a shower and bath together, or to climb some stairs. So it's very important. I don't know if I
Okay,
replied to questions.
I think so. I think also if you could perhaps, so what you're saying is there are accommodations where they would have less steps and it would be easier. Okay,
Correct.
wonderful. And then we also have one more question. Do you ever offer rates with any meal plans or full board,
We have half board.
half board?
Yeah, both on GDS or direct. So
Wonderful. And let me take a quick look again, see if we have anything open. I think
maybe
we've
to give
answered
you
it
an
all.
inform yeah, give you an information, our length of set stays between 3 and 4 nights. We organize more than 55 different experiences for the guest, from truffle hunting, cooking class, cooking lesson, wine testing, medieval city tour, transfer, helicopter tour. We can rent a bike, no bicycle because really we are on top of a hill, so and the Val d'Orcia is full of hills, so we just suggest e-bike. Yeah. So for that reason, we can support all the advisors as a DMC.
Wonderful. Well, I think we've answered all the questions. Once again, thank you everyone for joining us. We do have this session recorded, so if you know of any colleagues that would like to take advantage of these great, virtual and aerial views, we'd be happy to share. And of course, for those asking, we will make sure we keep you in mind for our FAM opportunities, and hopefully we'll go and have a drink of a nice real wine, right, Enzo?
Yeah, please don't forget, don't put together in a sentence Chianti and Brunello, because
Um, I do have one question from Josh. And so he suggested e-bikes to his clients that are staying down the road to Osteria Basomondo. Do you think that they should make reservations in advance, or can they just walk in?
yeah, please try to book in advance all your experience from wine tasting or just restaurant, because the Val d'Orcia Montalcino, it's a very busy destination, mainly in June, July, in August, and September. So it's very important for you that you book a time of reservation all the experiences.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Enzo, for your time. I know it's later for you, so we really appreciate your efforts in showing us this beautiful Castello.
Thank you, Angel. Ciao a tutti, and see you in Tuscany.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye
Ciao,
bye.
everyone.